one for Sally, and Sally's going to go. This one is called The Waitress. I am all too familiar with tableside banter. I wear it like an old shoe when it gets me far, but I reek of feet. I am all too familiar with hollow things, talking heads, the sound of empty bottles knocking around floorboards, collecting cancer in the plastic bumper car arena of my whatever mom lifestyle. I flip off all the cops who are all too familiar with fucking everyone I love, blasting good lives to pieces for a stolen blouse, a mushroom bag of Denton, Texas dust, the swift cock of justice. And I can't pay my taxes or my student loans, but they know all too well at Victoria's Secret that the semi-annual sale means twice a year. Even I can hoist my little titties right on up to the stars for only $34.99. And we are all too familiar with the lifting effects of well-executed underwire. We're so good it'll raise me from my social standing. This workday's malaise pushed me right up on out of reality. Buoy boobies bobbing in space and time, and I'll know all too well that it all means nothing. If you are in the restaurant business, that was really fun. Sally, whose book is here for sale, she and I started a Google Doc together. That's when you know you're like very intimate with a person. We share a private space where you can put things for each other. And we've been writing a poem a week in response to each other's poems. I read her poem on Veterans Day, and then I wrote this poem. So it's called Veterans Day. Cheryl, are you prone to thoughts? Are you one for the waiting line wanderings, a well-trained kitty with well-trained curiosities? Glass eyes scan the cover girl's wire-wrap kept bleached teeth. A squeaky wheel plucks the notion that she may be more than well-cupped. Then her lightweight reps show in her thighs, upper arm meat, salt shaker jiggle down by .2. Stacy with the purple hair says, I walk around all day in a dress fighting chub rub, and you want to think a veteran? Little wars waged in every small choice, a naked hanger wire. A panty is consumed by the world's hungriest vagina. Camel toe street call, I am only a body. Predator hollow, thank you, your liege. Honda accurate chariot of, may I kiss your feet before I comply with a smile? Then home to choking alone at the kitchen sink, and Cheryl wonders, away from the sounds of the outside, about the man's voice purring from the corners of her room. Always use the litter box. This is a poem I wrote for Sally when we were living in California together. On taking lysergic acid diathamine with Sally Harvey Anderson. There she was, standing in the doorway, in the best bra she'd ever owned, holding in her hands one Native American pudding bowl, which she had filled from the tap and which was really just plasticware from the cupboard, but there she stood, hot pink tits and a water dish, bringing hope to our one typewriter down. Our thirsty lips found salvation on the promised land rim, and like communion cup we drank her army of lost boys, a scared one in a cap, the one in old man trousers, a Russian prince in her, preacher's daughter in push-up lace, mother of God, womb to hold the world, and she held us, underwired dreams through the night. Thank you guys, and I'm going to bring up our poet. She's incredible. She's here from Nashville. She's going to go take her book on a tour. You should all purchase it. It's awesome. And her name is Sally Harvey Anderson. Yay.
I like the the best way to approach is from the back. Hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Phone number 1 is the response. Well, you know what? It's actually not even a response. It's a poem about the same experience when we took LSD together, and I had on the best bra I ever owned. And we were watching the sunrise, and we took off our shirts because that's what we do. We get naked, and then we welcomed the sunrise with our bare breasts. And then we looked down, and there were some security guards. Just having a good morning then. But anyways, it was a really special moment. She cried as she watched the sunrise, and all I could do was hold her, trying to contain the great passion she felt, afraid it may escape into the room and walk right out the front door. Her tears were on my face, and I loved her. I can't explain it, but I loved her. We're going to take it up a notch. The terrible fate of Mrs. Kleinschroeder. In a routine PTA meeting, Mrs. Kleinschroeder, she was one of the quiet ones, stood up and said, "I have a dream. One day, all women over 40 will have a choice. Either said woman will replace all body parts with her allotted ones to prevent menopause, only leaving the baby-making organs to produce an elite line of female robots with functioning reproductive organs, or, on a woman's 40th birthday, her husband will take her out back and shoot her fucking dead. Now who's with me?" When all the women of the PTA heard her proclamation, they sat, then blinked, then laughed and laughed, because now this is the punchline. They were already robots. So they took poor old Mrs. Kleinschroeder out back and shot her in the cooch till she was dead. And then, to celebrate, the whole gang went to Chick-fil-A for a diet lemonade. Low-calorie lemonade, you know. It's a little sour, but it's sweet enough once you get used to it.